human man named Evans. He is a former human soldier, now working as a neutral station guard on a massive alien space station. He is known as calm, silent, and unimportant. The station is hosting a royal alien gathering for the powerful Aurelian Empire. Evan is only there to stand still and obey orders. The alien royalty arrives, towering glowing beings with sharp eyes. The alien queen appears, feared by all species. Whispers spread, "Do not look at them, do not speak." Evan notices something strange. The air feels heavy, like before a battle. He senses danger, even though no alarms sound. The alien princess walks behind the queen. Beside her is her young child, small, quiet, and shaking. The child's eyes scan the room, afraid. Evan notices the child keeps looking at him. Their eyes meet for a brief second. Welcome to my channel Starlight Sci-Fi Stories. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Evan stood at his post without moving. He had been standing there for nearly 3 hours already, and he expected to stand there for many more. That was his job. Stand, watch, stay quiet, do not be noticed. The space station Helia Prime floated in deep space, far from Earth and far from any human world. It was one of the largest diplomatic stations in the known galaxy, built by many species together. Today, it was more silent than usual. Too silent. Evan could feel it in his bones. He was human, tall but not large compared to most alien races. His uniform was plain grey with no marks of rank, just a station guard, easily replaceable, easily ignored. That was fine with him. The massive hall before him was carved from black crystal metal. Tall pillars reached the ceiling, glowing with soft blue light. Alien banners floated in the air, held by invisible gravity fields. Hundreds of guards from different species stood in perfect lines. At the center of the hall was an empty path. The royal path. Evan had heard the rumors, everyone had. The Aurelian queen was arriving today. The Aurelians were not just powerful, they were feared. Tall, radiant beings with skin that shimmered like gold under starlight. Their eyes glowed faintly and their voices carried weight even when they whispered. They ruled dozens of systems. They destroyed those who defied them. Evan kept his eyes forward. Humans were allowed here only because humans were considered harmless. Weak, useful as workers, nothing more. A deep hum filled the hall. The air itself seemed to bend. The doors at the far end opened without a sound. Every guard stiffened. The Aurelians entered. First came the royal guards, their armor shaped like living metal. Their weapons were already active, glowing softly with contained power. Then came the nobles. And finally, the queen. She was taller than the others, her presence crushing. Her crown floated above her head, made of pure light. Her eyes scanned the room with ancient calm. No one breathed. Behind her walked the princess. She was younger, slimmer, her glow softer. At her side walked a small figure. A child. The princess's child. Evan noticed the child immediately. Not because of rank. Because of fear. The child's steps were slow, too slow, small hands clenched tightly. The child's eyes moved constantly, scanning the hall, the guards, the shadows. Looking for something. Or someone. Evan had seen that look before. He had seen it on human children during evacuations, during bombings, during screams and fire. Fear knows no species. Evan told himself to look away. This was not his concern. But the child's eyes stopped moving. They locked onto him. Just for a second. Evan felt a strange chill run through his spine. The child's eyes widened slightly. Recognition. Relief. The princess did not notice. She was focused on keeping pace behind the queen. The guards did not notice. No one did. Except Evan. The queen raised one long hand. The entire hall lowered their heads. The queen spoke, her voice calm and powerful. Let this gathering begin. The words echoed through the hall. And then, it happened. The child pulled free. A soft sound echoed as the child's hand slipped from the princess's grasp. Gasps filled the hall. Before anyone could react, the child ran. Not forward. Not backward. The child ran sideways. Straight toward Evan. Time slowed. Evan's mind screamed at him to move, to step back, to get out of the way. But his body did not listen. The child reached him in seconds. Small arms wrapped around his leg. The child pressed their face into his uniform. Hiding. Using him as a shield. The hall froze. Weapons activated all at once. Energy hummed loudly. Guards aimed at Evan. At the child. The princess cried out. My child. She stepped forward, panic breaking her royal calm. Evan did not move. He did not raise his hands. He did not push the child away. He lowered his arm slightly. Not touching the child. Just covering. Protecting. The queen turned. Slowly. Her glowing eyes fixed on Evan. Then dropped to the child. Then widened. The queen gasped. A sharp, quiet sound, but everyone heard it. Silence swallowed the hall. The queen stepped closer. One step. Then another. Guards trembled. No one in the galaxy had ever seen the Aurelian queen gasp. The child tightened their grip on Evan. Evan finally spoke, his voice calm but low. I am not a threat. His heart hammered in his chest. The queen stopped a few steps away. Her voice was quieter now. That is not what troubles me, human. She looked at the child again. Then at Evans. Why did the child choose you? The princess reached them, her hands shaking. Your Majesty, forgive me, the child must be punished for. No, the queen said sharply. The princess froze. The queen's eyes never left Evan. The child peeked out from behind Evan's leg, just slightly. Their eyes met the queen's. The child did not cry. The child did not scream. The child stayed hidden behind the human. The queen's glow dimmed. Her voice changed. Ancient. Reverent. The mark is real. Whispers erupted across the hall. What mark? The myth. The lie. The queen raised her hand. Silence returned instantly. She looked at Evan. You, human, have you ever stood between danger and a child before? Evan swallowed. Yes. The queen closed her eyes briefly. That single movement sent fear through the room. When? On Earth, Evan answered, many times. The queen opened her eyes. They remember, she said softly, even when we forget. The princess looked confused, terrified. My queen, what does this mean? The queen turned to her. It means your child saw death before it arrived. The princess gasped. And it chose the one being in this hall that death will not cross. The queen looked back at Evan. You carry the old instinct. Evan frowned. I don't understand. The queen stepped back. Lowered her head slightly. Not a bow. But close. Long ago, she said, humans were called protectors. When they stand still, fate bends. A distant alarm began to ring. Low. Slow. Warning. The child tightened their grip again. Evan felt it too. Something was coming. The queen straightened. Prepare the station, she ordered. We are not alone. Weapons powered higher. Lights dimmed. Evan remained still. The child remained behind him. And in that moment, every being in the hall understood one thing clearly. The most dangerous place in the galaxy was now behind a human who refused to move. The alarm did not scream. It pulsed. A deep, slow sound that travelled through metal, bone and thought, the kind of warning meant for beings who understood war. Evan felt it in his chest before he heard it in his ears. The child pressed closer to him. Evan did not move. Around them, guards shifted, weapons lifting higher. Alien eyes scanned the hall, searching for threats that did not yet show themselves. The Queen raised one hand. "Lock the hall," she commanded. Massive doors sealed shut with a heavy final sound. Light barriers slid into place. The royal path vanished beneath glowing shields. The princess clutched her chest, breathing fast. "My child," she whispered, "please come back to me." The child shook their head. Small fingers twisted tighter in Evan's uniform. Evan spoke gently, without looking down. "It's okay," he said, "I'm not going anywhere." The child seemed to understand the tone, if not the words. The Queen watched closely. Her eyes glowed brighter. "You do not command the child," she said, "you reassure it." Evan gave a small nod. "That's what humans do," he replied, "when someone is scared." The Queen turned to her guards. "Begin threat analysis," she ordered, "silent channels only." The guards obeyed instantly. The hall filled with tension. Minutes passed. Then, the first explosion hit. The floor shook violently. Energy flickered through the pillars. Several guards fell to one knee as the station groaned in pain. The princess screamed. The child flinched but did not run. Evan bent slightly, spreading his stance, placing himself fully between the child and the hall. A second explosion followed, closer this time. "Outer ring breach," a guard reported. "Unknown attackers, stealth class." The Queen's jaw tightened. "They chose their moment well," she said coldly. The lights dimmed further. Emergency red glows filled the hall. Evan's mind shifted. This feeling was familiar. Too familiar. This was not a ceremony anymore. This was a battlefield. The Queen looked at Evan again. "Human," she said, "can you fight?" Evan did not hesitate. "Yes." "With what weapon?" Evan glanced around, then reached down. He picked up a fallen guard's metal baton, simple, heavy. "This is enough," he said. The Queen studied him for a long moment. Then she nodded. "Stay with the child," she commanded. "Do not advance." Evan almost smiled. He had never planned to. The ceiling shattered. Black-armored figures dropped into the hall, moving like shadows. Their weapons hissed with charged energy. Their armor bore no markings. Mercenaries. Professional killers. They moved fast. Alien guards fired. Energy blasts filled the air. Screams echoed. Evan stepped back one pace. Just enough to keep the child fully behind him. One attacker rushed toward them. Evan moved. He did not charge. He waited. At the last moment, Evan swung the baton with all his weight behind it. The attacker collapsed instantly. Another rushed in. Evan blocked the strike, twisted, and struck again. Not pretty. Not elegant. Effective. The child watched. Silent. Focused. The princess stood frozen, horror and awe fighting on her face. "Why him?" she whispered to the Queen. The Queen answered without looking away. "Because he does not fight to win," she said. "He fights so others do not die." More attackers poured in. The guards were strong, but they were trained for honor, not chaos. Humans were trained for chaos. A voice crackled through the station speakers. "Human personnel," it said, "unauthorized attack in progress." Evan shouted without turning. "Any humans near the Royal Hall?" he called, "form up." There was no panic in his voice. Just certainty. Moments later, movement appeared at the edges of the hall. Humans. Engineers, medics, dock workers. Unarmed. They did not run away. They ran toward Evans. One by one, they stood beside him. In front of the child. In front of the princess. They formed a line. Not ordered. Not planned. Instinctive. The Queen's eyes widened. "Remarkable," she whispered. The attackers hesitated. They had not expected this. The humans did not shout. They did not threaten. They simply stood. An attacker fired. A human was hit. He fell. Another human stepped into his place. Evan's voice remained calm. "Hold the line," he said. The attackers broke. They turned to retreat. Alien guards pressed forward, driving them back. The hall fell quiet. Smoke drifted. The floor was scarred. Bodies lay still. Evan's arm trembled. Blood dripped from his side. He had not noticed when he was hit. The child reached out. Small hands touched Evan's sleeve. Warm, concerned. "I'm okay," Evan said softly. The Queen approached her. Slowly, respectfully. She looked at the fallen attackers. Then at the humans standing in silence. Then at Evan. "You were not supposed to be here," she said. Evan shrugged slightly. "Neither were they." The Queen turned to the princess. "Your child sensed truth," she said. "Humans stand when others flee." The princess stepped forward. She knelt before Evan. The hall gasped again. "Thank you," she said, "for my child, for my life." Evan shifted awkwardly. "You don't have to." "I do," she replied. The child let go of Evan's leg. For the first time, they stepped forward, then turned back, wrapped their arms around Evan's waist. A human guard laughed quietly. The Queen lowered herself. Not fully, but enough. A sign no one had seen before. "From this moment," the Queen declared, "humans are no longer observers." Her voice echoed. "They are protectors." The word spread through the station, through the fleet, through the galaxy. Evan looked down at the child. "You're safe now," he said. The child smiled. The alarm stopped. The station lights slowly returned. And across the galaxy, an old truth was remembered. When a human stands still, the universe moves around them.